All right, we're live and everyone survived except for Manny. He must be heads down working on this Pomodoro. It's like, fuck these guys.
He's got like a whole
Not
week's
paying
worth of Pomodoros to make up, apparently,
Yep.
because we haven't seen any emails from him come through.
I know,
it.
what the heck? I haven't seen the accountability there.
I know. I was gonna say I started my Pomodoro timer right before we started the pre-call. So.
Do you know what my week was like? Oh my god, this was insane. This was like absolutely insane. This is a really good lesson. Huh?
Believe me, it can't be worse than mine.
Oh,
I go up at 4 a.m. every morning to get them done.
We'll have a duel on this because, like, on Monday, on Monday I think I got up at like 5 a.m. and I had like 2 appointments in the afternoon, and then lifting from 3 to 5. But then Tuesday is when the real hell started because I had scheduled in my calendar that I basically need to get up. I need to start working on Pomodoros by 5 a.m. if I was going to get the 8 done, because I had a meeting at 10 a.m. and then an appointment at 11 a.m. and then I had to run 9 miles at 12 p.m. and then Muay Thai class after that. And then Wednesday was probably the most insane. Again, I had to get up at like 4:30 to do the 8 Pomodoros because I had a meeting at 10 a.m. So I had to get all the Pomodoros done by 10 a.m.
For the record, wasn't this your idea?
Yes.
Just checking.
Poor John. I'm so sympathetic. You actually had time to work out.
Actually, I had to go. Actually, what I had to do is go downtown. Well, I know, but that was the thing is like I was with all the workouts. So I had to do like I woke up at 4:30 a.m. on Wednesday, did the 8 Pomodoros, had to be downtown to present a marketing consulting meeting to some investors at 10 a.m. and then got back, had to jump on the treadmill basically at like 2 o'clock, and then I had to lift at 3. So I ran 6 miles on the treadmill, then lifted for 2 hours legs. Yeah, and then yesterday was like the same shit, except it wasn't as bad. I got to start on the Pomodoros later, but then I had to go run on a track 9.5 miles.
Didn't you also get a dog this week?
Yes, last week.
Okay, that was last week.
Do like 800 meter repeats for 9 repeats of 800 meters was hell, and then Muay Thai again as soon as I finished that. And yeah, so it's been insane. But it's been a good lesson because like here's the thing about it, like with doing the 8 Pomodoros before noon, is that it helps you to curb your optimism of time, right? Like before we did this exercise, I was thinking, okay, I should be able to get 8 Pomodoro done pretty easily before noon every day, or even before 2 every day. But when you throw in the exercising, like the workouts, and you throw in the meetings that you have and all this stuff, you realize that even just squeezing in 8 is kind of difficult. It's not super easy. Like you got to be busting ass the whole time. You can't be goofing off at all if you're going to make it. So,
yeah. So in my case, yeah, I was up at 4 a.m. every morning to get them done because Monday I did a bunch of phone screenings for podcast show notes writers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tuesday, my recording day starts at 10 a.m. and I didn't have, it's 10 a.m. and then 11:30. So I couldn't do a Pomodoro after 10 a.m. So I had to get up at 4 so I could get them all in then. Wednesday's a little bit better, but only because I have a podcast at 9 and then I'm open until 12:30. But I still had to get up at 4 just to make sure I got them all done. And then yesterday I had a sales call, a sales training call, 3 more phone screenings, and an accountability call for my book. And then today I had a sales call before this, so I had to get up at 4 a.m. again just to make sure I got them all in before the sales call at 9. So yeah. The flip side of it for me though, because you're saying it curbs your optimism on your time, but I got so much more done this week than I ever do. I mean, it was crazy. I may actually, because of this, sell out Q1 of
Nice.
my
Wow.
sponsorships.
Shit. That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's been nuts, but it's been good. It's been really, really good. I got, like I said, a ton done. Bunch of emails written. I've actually, I should show you guys this, just to give you an idea of some of the stuff that I got done. Here, let me share my screen. Which one? I think it's the one you're on. Yeah. So, where is it?
There's me.
So, I got a whole bunch of the emails done, and then I started working on this. So this is the master process for podcasts. So these are the steps for setting up a podcast. This is all the stuff that has to happen before the recording. These are the steps that have to happen during the recording. Editing the recording, publishing and promoting episodes. This is something that I want to incorporate into some of these. But yeah, it's and I've got a bunch of these written. A couple of them are things that Michelle's done for me. So I basically said, you have to write these up and they have to look like mine. But yeah, so I got that all done. I got 3 email campaigns done. I mean, it's just been wild. I rearranged part of my office, if you can't tell, because it's different behind me. I mean, it's just, it's been so effective. I'm going to keep doing it. Not necessarily before noon. I'm probably looking at least on recording days before, say, 4 o'clock. And on non-recording days like Mondays and Thursdays, you know, we'll be looking at about 2 o'clock is when I want to, you know, have 8 done. But if I make sure I get 8 in every week or every day, I'm going to be in great shape.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Chuck, you're still sharing your screen, by the way.
I know. I just saw that. It says, you are screen sharing. I'm like, oh, I got to stop that. How do I?
Manny, what happened to your reports?
Dude, I've been sending religiously.
Huh?
Josh has not been sending them.
No. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any from Manny. I haven't seen any.
From Josh.
Well, everyone else has seen them from me, though. So
Yeah.
So everyone else has seen my reports too.
Huh?
Everyone else has seen my reports too.
Has anyone seen any of Manny's reports?
no.
Nope.
Well, fuck. I've been sending them. They're all how was that possible? I've sent them every single day.
Okay. Well, I've got the problem solved now with the new group software I just signed us up for. So looks like we're all registered on that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to-
I mean, I couldn't like.
Let's test this shit real quick. Hold on. Let me send an email. All right. Can everyone see this? Respond.
Manny, we're getting some feedback from you, I think.
If you get it. Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let me get my earphones as always.
No, the email should say, Manny owes everybody a bunch of money. How do you want to collect?
Right.
I cannot believe this shit.
It's okay, Manny.
I thought it was Josh who was like,
So you were seeing the emails from Chuck and John, but not me?
yes.
That is so weird.
Only when Chuck would respond would I see, oh, Chuck would respond specifically to yours, and I'd be like, I've seen this posted. I'm like, that's weird. Okay.
Okay. Yes. John, I can see it.
What's that?
I
You
can
see it? Okay,
yeah,
good.
I got it.
See what?
Oh,
Here we
yeah.
go.
No. Check your email. Go check your email.
Manny, maybe you have a spam filter set up for all of us.
Yeah, if it says entre programmers, he's like junk.
Can everyone see this? Respond. All right, let's see. I'm going to reply or reply all. Maybe just reply.
Yeah, it should just be a reply because it goes to a central address and then
Let's see.
Yeah.
Well, Google Groups was supposed to do that.
Well, it worked for everyone except for you.
I wasn't even getting Josh's emails.
Huh?
I wasn't getting Josh's emails.
I know. That's what I said. It only worked. It worked for everyone except for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened. He started getting the simple programmer emails, and he junked Josh's emails.
I don't know, man. That's so fucking weird. All right. Did you guys get my message this time around?
Not yet. It takes a second. There's a little delay on this.
Oh, don't do at 2000books.com and do at gmail.com.
I think it was at gmail.com.
Yeah.
No, this is at 2000books.com.
No. You signed up with the Gmail. Or
Yeah, I
that's-
saw the message
Yeah.
come through with the Gmail.
You're on
address.
Gmail.
Did you add me via Gmail or with at 2000books.com?
I got an email saying you had joined.
I'm gonna send from my Gmail now. It'll come through.
Oh, looks like Asana's getting a charge back. I just got an email saying that they invoiced me, and I canceled my account. So
Yeah, you don't like Asana anymore?
I just haven't been using it. I'm using another system.
I've got a solution for you, Chuck. Sticky notes.
The problem is I have to tell other people what to do too. So we
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
collaborate.
All right, Manny, I got your.
The Gmail one you got.
I got the Gmail one. Yep.
One yet. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Well, I was looking at my email when it popped in. So
All right. Well, something
All
worked.
right.
what's funny is when I replied, it put it into the Gmail, as a reply to John, and then the group IO sent me my email back,
Oh,
and so it shows up twice in the timeline.
oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean it works. I'm not going to complain. I just thought it was
Hopefully,
funny.
that's not how it works by default, because that's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Get copied on all your own messages.
So fucking weird.
Oh wait, yeah, I just got. Oh, this is no good, John.
What's
I'm getting.
happening?
I just got my own back.
Yeah,
I just got my reply back.
I don't know
So-
why you guys are so resistant to Slack. That's like
Because it went to the group, right?
Slack
like-
is so good. I don't know why you guys have. to
Hold on.
learn
There's
all this.
probably a setting where you
on
can
the
control whether or not you get.
you
let
get
me
your own
see.
replies.
Well,
Yeah.
Manny, we
let me
have
see.
a Slack for this group, but it's just Slack is so noisy, and then stuff gets lost, and you can never find it again.
Oh, I'm not a huge fan of Slack.
Okay.
Anyway,
Slack is good for instant communication.
Yeah.
Let me see. There should be something like, okay.
There's like a reply to group versus reply to sender.
I would move that we
Table
use
this
that later.
No,
Yeah.
no, live troubleshooting. It's the only way to go.
Yeah, so we'll have a whole bunch of us going. Yeah,
So-
well, and
So I'm gonna share my screen here. Check this out. Check this out. I'm sending this to Entrepreneur December 5, 10:50 a.m. There's a screenshot.
I never saw it. So
I-
it didn't happen.
I don't know. And again, December 6th, done. Here's the screenshot. I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
It's okay. Pay me and we'll stay friends. It's
Uh-huh.
Oh, Manny, you're sending from your 2000 books account is not in the Google group.
Oh,
Why is it
right,
sending
that's the
from
problem.
2000 Books accounts?
Huh?
I just automatically send it. Why does it choose to?
I don't know. That must be your default email. Try serious. Just hit last thing, and then we'll get off this. Hit reply, and then change the from address to your Google or your Gmail account, and then we'll.
Well, that's probably.
Yeah.
I hope it works.
You've banned you banned Google Groups from your from sending invites to your 2000 books address.
Now that ban. Fucking bans don't stop. So now if I reply, is it going to go back to... Okay, hopefully it'll stay with mannyvai@gmail. So why was it defaulting to 2000 bit?
I don't know.
Okay, let me try to send another entrepreneurs email. Entrepreneurs.
Riveting audio.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure.
Sucks.
Podcast begins at 17 minutes and 39 seconds.
I know, right?
All right. Let it go through.
All right, we'll let you know if it comes through.
Anyway, I'm going to start talking about non-email troubleshooting stuff because this is driving me crazy, guys.
All right.
I mean,
do
Josh shows the money, but that's
Do
fine.
it.
I'm just giving you shit, man. So anyway, I showed you the master process that I've been working up, and I'm sure there are things that I'm going to wind up adding to it. But I was talking to one of my co-hosts from JavaScript Jabber. He recently bought, one of those online video companies, and I don't know
Like
if
an explainer video type of deal, or
yeah. So they have video courses that walk you through how to build stuff with
Check this out.
technologies.
I got this email now. You guys will not believe it, but
So anyway, we were chatting and he said that he was going to bow out of the View podcast that we do because he didn't feel like he contributed a lot there, and he needed to start his own show to promote this training video company that he bought. And I'm not sure if he's ready to relaunch it. That's why I'm being a little bit non-specific as to which one it is. But anyway, so I was like, well, dude, I'm doing this for all of my shows. Would you be interested in having me do it for your show? And of course, he's like, yes. Because, he's like, I don't want to have to figure out how to start it. I don't want to have to figure out how to get it edited. And I don't want to figure out how to promote it. And you seem to know all that stuff. And so he's serious about having me put together content that will promote his stuff. And I was thinking about it, and I realized that I should probably be doing the same kind of thing when I talk to my sponsors and essentially see if they're interested in a show that, and it's like, look, either you can provide the host or I can find you a host, and, you can talk about developer stuff or mobile development stuff or, whatever. And, I can help make sure that everything's on track, and then we can handle all of the production and promotion stuff, and I'll make it real easy so that you can just go in and retweet stuff and upvote stuff on Reddit and stuff, so that you're doing your part to help promote it, but it's not we're talking about 10-20 minutes a week, and then we're just making sure that everything's on point, and we're sending people to your website. So once I started doing that, then that kind of prompted me to pull together that master process and start really figuring it out. Because if I'm going to bring somebody else's show on, I need to be able to just kind of start to finish, top to bottom, tell everybody who's involved what they're doing. So anyway, it's been really, really awesome kind of figuring that out. But if I can get his show going, then I have a case study for the rest of these. And since I'm building Podwrench anyway, I can make this easier and easier and easier on myself. And I have a whole bunch of guinea pig shows, including the 15 that we promote or build on DevChat.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see how all of that goes. So I really think that I can get this off the ground, and I'm uniquely positioned to run shows for technical and software focused shows. So
Yep. Nice.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And then I mentioned earlier, and I'm so excited about all this because this week was just awesome. It sucked getting up that early. It really sucks getting up at 4 a.m. But the other end of it is that I I made sure that I did at least one Pomodoro where I was prospecting for sponsorships. And amazingly, if you do a process that looks something like this, it really actually works. The process goes like this. Go find a conference, go look at their sponsors, go look up the sponsor on LinkedIn, find the person you want to email, go to hunter.io and guess their email address.
Yep.
Send them an email that says, hey, can I help you find developers to promote your stuff to? And then you get a whole bunch of sales calls scheduled. I mean, it's so funny. I mean, I send these emails. I had a sales call this morning. They reached out to me, this one, but I have 3 sales calls scheduled tomorrow that were off of this process. And the thing that's really funny is that I have notifications coming in from HubSpot, and somebody from another company just clicked the link to schedule a sponsorship call as we were talking. So I'm really digging it. I've been using HubSpot, and I have sequences set up in HubSpot. So it just emails them, and then it prompts me to connect with them on social media. And a couple of them I did have to connect with them on social media before I got their attention. But yeah, it's been really, really effective. And so if I can sell out my sponsorships for Q1, you know, pretty close to the beginning of the year, I'm going to be in really, really good shape. Because then I can start selling out the sponsorships for Q2, and I can start some more shows to open up more inventory.
Nice. So you will be, this is the first time you've ever sold out, right?
This would be the first time I ever sold out.
Nice.
Now, some of the shows have sold out in the past. I don't think any of them have sold out for a full quarter. And I'm pretty sure that I'm getting there at this point with some of them. JavaScript Jabber, Adventures in Angular React Roundup, and Views on Vue in particular. I had one sponsor that picked up every show that I produced. So
Wow,
I just sent them
great.
a proposal, and they're like, yep, looks good. So, yeah.
They are listening, Chuck.
They could be. I'm going to do everything I can to make them super happy so they do it again next quarter.
I love it.
But yeah, so
So I just got a Mailer Demon reply from Entrepreneur Programmers Google Groups, even from my Gmail address. When I
All right, we'll talk. Let's take it. We'll take it off air, and we can get this ironed out. I know what the problem is. We'll get one or the other working.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you hear that? It's all Josh's fault. He just admitted to it.
Finally,
You know, you're still sharing your screen, right?
I am. I just see you in the screen. All right. So, Chuck, you're saying it was really effective, but you're not going to do it anymore.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm just not going to do it before noon. That's what I'm changing.
So what's the new plan? Because I really like doing it.
I like doing it. I like getting it done by noon, but it's just not realistic that I can get it done by noon, especially if I have a bunch of calls scheduled. Like I still have some phone screenings next week. So on non-recording days, I'm just going to make sure I get it done by 2.
Yeah.
So what's the new system?
And on recording days, I'll make sure I get it done by 4 or 5. What?
What's the new system that we're going to hold ourselves accountable to? Because I like it. I like the fact that it forces us to do what we need to do, at least start the day, and then whatever you do at the end of the day is fine. But it's good to have that kind of commitment and just continue to freaking push it.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm also going to keep getting up at 4 a.m. I'm just going to start running at 5 instead of doing Pomodoros until my runs get too long to be able to do within an hour. Because my kids get up at 6 and then we have to start get ready for school stuff.
So,
but yeah, I was super excited to get on the call because I was like, this was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a ton of shit done too. So the big thing is like the big problem I have with like doing it for noon every time is because there's meetings in the morning and stuff like that you have to schedule. So by 2 o'clock every day, I'm pretty confident I can get 8 done. pretty much every day.
Well, here's
but-
a novel idea. Don't do meetings in the morning.
Yeah, that's not
I
always
thought about
under
that.
control. I know. I thought about that too, but it's not really feasible.
Yeah, I did think about, because my meetings in the morning are basically, well, this one, and then a couple of podcasts on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I did think about rescheduling those so that they would all be afternoon. I don't know.
Okay. So are we going to commit to anything next week, or are we just going to let it go now that we know that it works?
That's not a loaded question at all.
No, not at all. Now that we know, we have, like, Chuck has had one of the best weeks of his
Career?
of his quarter. The assumption is that we are not going to do it again.
Well, I'm committed to doing it still because it's so effective.
So the effective part, I think, is the accountability part more than just telling ourselves that I will somehow manage to do 8 Pomodoros. Because it's pretty easy to tell yourself, today maybe blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, you're back to the same routine of how you do things.
Yeah.
So the accountability is what forces you to get creative with your time. Maybe it's not 8, maybe it's 6, maybe it's 2 p.m. is 8 or whatever. Like something to that.
That's true, because I might be able to commit to 6 before noon, or 5 before noon. But my wife pulled some stuff in the morning so that I could get them done. So I can't do it. I can't do it every week like that.
The big thing too, also, I need to run in the morning is what I realized, is because trying to do it afternoon run and then do lifting and kickboxing is sort of ridiculous.
I hear that John's full-time job is working out.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but I think before 2 makes sense for sure. Well, one of the things that helped me too was just the idea of, like, what I did this week is, like, I scheduled everything on my calendar, right? Because I was like, well, if I have to get 8 done before noon, then what does that take, right? And that was key, rather than being optimistic of saying, okay, I'm going to get 8 Pomodoros done. That's my goal for the day, and not knowing when I'm going to do it. I had to schedule even my run and the time and calculate everything ahead of time, which is good. I think that's a better way to plan the week, because I actually put the Pomodoro time on the calendar, put a small buffer in there, right? And so I think that, yeah, that's probably the huge benefit of it is scheduling that to, like, say, if you got to get 8 done before 2 o'clock, then how are you going to do it?
Okay. So
the other thing I thought about was just, like, committing to doing 6 before noon every day, but I'd rather get more done. I'd rather do 8 and make it by 2.
So frankly, I'm actually trying to get like 12 or 13, even 15 done during the day. It's just that I like the head start I get from this accountability, and then because of that, it forces me, like, it cleans up a lot of the, what it does is it just kickstarts, it accelerates the day for me, so that getting 10, 12, 15 done is not a big deal after you're already done 8 in the morning.
So you want us to kick in some accountability on this again? Exactly.
The accountability is what is crucial. The number, like saying to yourself, I'm going to do 8 Pomodoros today, is pretty lame compared to by this time. Because if you just say 8 Pomodoros, you will end up doing it by 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Or 6 p.m. And then it's the end of the day, and now you're back to the same thing. And now you may or may not have the most productive week of your.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think I'm just gonna have to adjust it and then keep adjusting it to. And I don't know if what I'm looking at doing would, necessarily make sense for you guys. You may have to tweak it different ways. So, maybe we can all make a commitment as to what we are going to deliver and then if we don't deliver, then we have some kind of
Okay.
accountability.
So that could be interesting. Like the night before, you make your own commitment as to this is what I'll do tomorrow.
It's too much upkeep. Like you need to have the plan for the.
Yeah, it's got to be like a weekly. This is what I'm gonna do this week, and then
Yeah, this is the
this
simplest.
is what it'll cost me if
Okay,
I,
so how about this? Everyone can do their own thing. Like I still want to do 8 before 12. You guys can decide for like, or maybe 6 before 12 or 4 before 12 or whatever. The 12 deadline is a good one because it kind of just narrows your focus. Okay, let me just get whatever the report is at 12 p.m. is the report at 12 p.m. After that, because everyone has a different deadline, then we can't just track them. Like, oh, he's got a 2 p.m. deadline, he's got a 4 p.m. deadline, he's got a 6 p.m. deadline.
well, that's interesting too. Just saying, I'm going to get 12 done in a day, because it does force you to stack in the morning. But because as soon as I got my my 8 done, then I wasn't as diligent about tracking them either.
Right.
Yep.
So that might be interesting too.
Yeah, maybe it's just the day commitment. How many do you get done per day?
Yeah.
And everyone has different commitments, is what you're saying?
Well, you just show proof that you got
Whatever you said
however
you-
many done per day.
Right. So, all right. So what's the commitment for next week?
8 per day, right?
Oh, I see. 8 per day. I don't like it.
Well, maybe that's what John can commit to.
That's true. John can commit to that.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Then we all have like random commitments, which might be the only way to do this because everyone's got different.
Well,
constraints in their
that's
life.
what I'm saying.
Here's my reasoning between committing to 8 per day. If you commit to 8 per day, that is basically like the deep work, focused kind of close to the limit anyway. It's basically 4 to 5 hours. So
Right.
you're basically doing 4 hours. So, it's good enough for Stephen King. It's good enough for me and
Right.
Stephen Pressfield and, countless, all the others that. So, so I think if you just manage to get 8 done per day, you would find that you would be extremely productive, right? If you get more done, that's great. But I think committing to a reasonable number that can actually be done per day makes the most sense.
Yeah. I'm willing.
Well, everyone
to
can
commit
have
to,
different commitments to that. I think that's the only way.
What's that?
Everyone can have different commitments for that number. So that way each one keeps themselves accountable for whatever they want to keep themselves accountable.
Yeah.
Well, you can always do more, and you can always be, but
Well,
I
the
was
key
saying-
is for yourself, like here's how it's going to work out. If I say I'll do 8, I'll do 8 and maybe I'll do 9 or 10. But if I have to do 12, it's a different level of commitment. I have to find a way to do 12.
Yeah.
Right? And that changes the game dramatically. It's one thing to say I'll do 8. It's another thing to say I'll do 8 by 12 p.m. It's again, like it changes the game again and again, like all of those specific commitments. Because if everyone just says, well, blanket do 8, it's probably not, it's not, because everyone's commitment level might be different.
Well, the risk you run of making it greater, like, I mean, 10 is perhaps conceivable, but the risk you run of making your commitment like 12 is that, right, there's like this ratio of trade-off, right, between the difficulty of the commitment and the coherence, right? And so as the difficulty of the commitment increases, the coherence level, right, is less, right? And so you kind of have to find the spot where you're going to optimize your productivity, right? Which is going to be where the coherence and the commitment, where the coherence level is high and the commitment level is low, right? To some degree, but the volume is still reasonable.
Explain
right?
coherence in this.
I think
so-
you mean adherence, John.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, adherence, sure.
Yeah.
So if you commit to 12, right,
Mhm.
and you miss,
Mhm.
you're more likely to miss the next day and the next day and to quit.
Well,
Right.
if money is on the line, I probably won't.
Yeah, but you're still going to eventually bow out and be like, oh, I'm not going to pay any more money. I'm just not going to commit to 12 anymore.
Well, then I'll say, okay, I'll commit to 10.
Yeah, and then you've eroded it's better
No,
to
The system still worked. The system still kind of got me to be honest with what I can do and what I should do, and trying out different levels to see what works, what does not work.
yeah. Well, I don't know. That's just my experience with it. So
Well, the other thing is that, I mean, at least for the next few weeks, or the next 2 weeks, and then after Christmas, because Christmas is going to be nuts. I'm going to be tweaking. I'm going to be fiddling, right? I'm going to be going, okay, well, this week I'm committed to, and I'll do it. I'll pull through, but then I may say, oh, that's still too much, or that wasn't, that didn't push me hard enough, and so I'm going to try, so I'm just, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. But the other thing is like this week I need to pass on Wednesday because I drive my kids to school. I get home in time for React Roundup. I'm doing a guest appearance on another podcast, and then I record 2 more podcasts. I'm not even free until 3:00. Yeah. And if I get up at 4 in the morning to do them, I can get 3 or 4 in before my kids get up, and maybe 3 or 4 after Adventures in Angular. But I can't commit to even 8 because my wife isn't going to drive the kids to school, on Wednesday again, or I'm not going to make her. So, because we have an agreement on carpool. So,
yeah, this is a good exercise, right? Like, but that's why I'm saying like the commitment level has to be much less if we're going to continue to actually have value out of doing this, right? So even like, for example, next week too, like I'm going to be gone. I'm traveling on Friday and I won't be back till Tuesday. So I'm not going to have any like, I mean, which we can have exceptions for if you're traveling or whatnot for sure. But a level of commitment that is sustainable is best, right? Okay. It's better to set the bar at a lower level and overperform than while you're still getting out. Like if you got, okay, so most of us do not get 40 Pomodoro done per week, right? Or 8 per day. Mm-hmm. If you just get 8 done per day, you'll see a huge spike in your productivity, right? Like that's just, I mean, at least that's what I discovered for me, right? So that's why I would say set the bar there where we know it's an achievable thing.
So I like the 8 per day, at least, 'cause the way John's talking about it, because again, to the point that Manny's making and to the point that John's making, if I'm doing 8 and I'm like at 3:00 every day, I was slacking off and goofing off on my phone or computer, browsing Facebook, then I need to up it, right? Mm-hmm. And so next week I'm going to say, okay, now I'm going to do 9, right? And I can adjust it and I can figure out where I need to be at. And I'd rather do that than, like John said, set it way too high and then just be like, I can't keep doing this.
Right. So here's what I'm also thinking. Like, instead of having that email and trying to keep up with like everyone's different commitments, whatever they might be, if we just have a Trello board or something for the group where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the board set up for each person, and they just put in for that week, okay, this is what I do for this week, and that's it. And you keep your own accountability there, and people can see whether you did what you did or not. You don't really have to follow any emails or anything like that, but everything is there. Okay, my commitment tomorrow is XYZ, and then you follow through on your commitment or not, but it's all there in Trello for anyone to notice or watch.
Well, when you say XYZ, you mean number of Pomodoro.
Yeah, by which time, number of Pomodoros. Because I like the time limit as well, which you guys don't care for, but I personally like it. Because it allows me to be real with it.
It just can't be something that changes, right? That's the thing.
No, but that's the thing. If it's in Trello, I can decide, okay, tomorrow, because I have to be in Austin for my meetings, I cannot really afford to do 8 Pomodoros. I have no time for that. So I have to do 2 or something like that by this time.
Yeah, but I'm not going to check up on you to like.
You don't have to, but it will be in Trello and it will all be there. And at that point, at the end of the week, you guys can decide. We can all say, okay, well, you did everyone did whatever they did or what they did not. And it's there. So you don't have to every day check on the emails or anything like that. It's all in Trello. And at the end of the week, in this meeting, we can all see what people did or what people did not do.
I don't know. Seems like a lot of upkeep to me.
Just put the damn commitment the night before in Trello, and then the day off, show
For
us.
me, it'd be easier just to say, this is what I'm committed to this week. And then...
Now we're talking weekly commitment. But
Yeah.
then that's the problem. Like now we're trying to track every person's like, okay, this person committed to this person committed to that. And now it's like all over the place. But I wonder.
I would say if you just say very simple, 8 Pomodoro per day by 2:00 p.m. I think each one of us could, aside from days that you're traveling or have some kind of all-day event, right? Then, you know, aside from a day where you make the exception because of and then you just send the email by like 2:30 or 3:00 every day.
So you can call an exception the night before, and then it's over for that day for you.
Yeah.
If you cannot, because of family or whatever obligations that you feel it's not going to happen, call an exception.
Right.
Otherwise, do 8 by 12 or 8 by 6 or 8 by 2 or 6 by 12 or whatever. Josh is like, fuck this. All I want is this.
Just send a picture of your Post-it note.
Yeah, well, whatever's easiest. I mean, I don't know. I like the accountability, but I don't want it to be too much work. So
yeah,
because it makes us too very productive, and that's might be a bad idea.
Well, the thing is, again, it's the word I was looking for.
I will not do it.
Yeah, the word I was looking for was compliance, right? The key to any, I mean, believe me, this is one of the things that I definitely specialize in is in programs and compliance, right? Like diet, workout, all of these things, productivity, it all comes down to the same thing. You have to find the optimal ratio of volume to compliance level. And if you make it so that you create too high of a bar and the volume's too high, the compliance will drop off. And once the compliance drops, it's a complete waste. Then you lose everything, right? It's an all or nothing game, right?
Well,
if
you start all over again, that's the whole point of compliance, because you're paying a fine. So you say, fuck, that shit didn't work. Let me fine tune it.
That's for small like infractions, right? In general, though, if the friction is high, the compliance will drop off, and if the compliance drops off, like every time that you miss doubles the chance that you're going to miss the next time.
Not if your money is on the line, but yeah, in general, that makes sense. But if your money is on the line, either you will change your compliance level, you change the demands you put on yourself, or you will bow out of the system, right?
All right, well, here's what I propose. I propose that we basically do what we did last week, except we can adjust our targets for this week however we feel like we need to, and we'll just report it the same way. And then we can make another tweak or adjustment next time.
Yeah, whatever we do, it needs to be uniform so that it's not a headache.
What if we all committed to? We had our own number of. I think the. I don't know. Never mind. Too many options.
It's okay. It's okay, Josh.
I'm willing to commit to 6 Pomodoros by noon ongoing.
Yeah, I could do 6 by noon, or I could do 8 by 2.
6 by noon is actually 150 minutes. 2 hours and 30 minutes total time.
Right.
I can commit to 6 by noon.
All right, let's do it. Except that I'll be traveling all of next week, so I'm all
Oh my gosh.
Oh, now we
Drop the mic.
Uh,
Drop the mic. Walk away.
I'm glad we got commitment. That's all I was waiting for. But after that, I had to.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
No, but for real, I'll be in Austin next week, so I'm flying out on Monday morning, bright and early, and then flying back on Thursday, again early. So
That's right. Get to work, suckers.
Yeah.
So I'm screwed. Next week I'm screwed for sure. There's no way I get any kind of Pomodoros done until Friday.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think this is a good exercise. I think we learned a lot from it. At least I did. And the biggest thing I learned is just to schedule everything in my calendar ahead of time instead of being optimistic about when I'm gonna, looking at big time blocks. And then if I have like a big chunk of my calendar where it says 8 Pomodoro, I know I need to get that done in that time because I know that I already have run scheduled next, and that needs to happen, and lifting needs to happen, right? Or Muay Thai or whatever else I've got. So honestly, like the way I would go forward with it personally would be to just say, look, my goal on most days, aside from days where I'm traveling or like there's a big chunk of my day gone, is 8 Pomodoro. But I'm scheduling it ahead of time, so I know exactly how many Pomodoro I'm getting done that day and when I'm doing it. And I'm meeting those commitments that are on the calendar.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking at too, is if I can get 6 done by noon, except for like this Wednesday, there's just no way. I can probably get, like I said, 3 or 4. But my goal overall is to get 8 done in a day. So I get 6 done by noon, then I have to do at least 2 more afterward and around all my other calls and other things.
So 6 by noon, is that what we're all agreeing to then?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Sure.
All right. Sign me up for the week after.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to be serious. Like, if we're gonna do this, then it has to be like seriously, we're all gonna commit to doing it or not. Otherwise, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly, I don't think it's worth like making a commitment to do it because we're gonna have too many weird things with schedules and stuff. It was worth doing the challenge, and maybe we do another challenge like that again if we start to slip for a week. But
Yep.
All right. Well, here's a thought for me, and you guys are welcome to not at all do it. I will just tell you what my commitment is for the week, and I'll put my money on it, and I will report back at the end of the week what I did and like if I did it or not. And that, frankly, I'm just doing it to keep myself accountable. I don't really. You guys are welcome to not put that in play. I'm just going to report saying, hey, I'm doing this week. This is my commitment. And just not make it complicated for you guys. My total number of Pomodoros for the week, and then I can let you guys verify if I did it or not. So that way it's really simple.
Manny will send it in emails that we don't get.
including the money exactly where it was sent.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll also send us money we didn't get.
Yeah. All of the above. Yeah. So I still like the accountability part. I'm just going to keep myself accountable by just telling you guys what I'm going to do. And you guys are welcome to do whatever you need to do to make that happen if everyone's kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, we now know too, when I built the tool of the planning technique, one cool feature of it would be to have a group setting where everyone can see each other's boards, and then you set the accountability levels for each day, right? So that it's all managed for you. And then you can see if someone misses their accountability. And you can even have it set up so it has an automatic debit from their bank account.
Because that's not fraught with peril in any way.
Yeah, that sounds totally legit, especially if the money is going directly into John's account.
Exactly. But no, we could totally do that for sure. So
Actually, I'm a big fan of accountability. So whatever I can do to get that is always a good thing for me.
Yeah. One other thing out of this challenge that I found was that, so my business coach, Scott, he has this big thing about having a weekly non-negotiable schedule. And I'm really good at putting one together and really not good at following it. And so one thing I figured out with this was that if I just committed to getting a certain number of Pomodoros done and I knew what my most important tasks were, that was effective for me. Because then I wasn't trying to fit into this regimented routine, and I could just get in and do whatever it was that I needed to do.
right.
And I know that different people, it works better in different ways, but yeah, for me anyway, it was really, really effective. So I'm kind of liking that because it's more freeform, which fits my personality a little better.
So what's the new form then? I thought we were completely abandoning this system.
No, I'm just saying in general, doing the Pomodoros worked better for me than having at this time I do these things and at this time I do those things.
Exactly. Yeah. The whole point of the Pomodoro works because if you get done, you have your goal of like getting 8 done, that you can't control how long certain tasks take. You can only estimate them. So it works because you know that if you've gotten that done, then you haven't gotten done what you wanted to get done. The problem is priority. It's not work ethic, right? Or you don't have to feel bad about yourself for not doing the work because you did the work, and then it also improves your estimation, and that may also be a problem, is that your estimation is off. So
yeah.
Yep.
So I think just focusing on doing it is the setting the goal, whatever your goal is, and planning it out is enough.
Well, and that was the big thing, was just that I just got in and implemented. I just did the work. I did the freaking work over and over again.
Well, yeah. The accountability was a huge part of it, though. You prioritized your work about a lot of other things.
No, it's true. It's definitely true. I'm just saying, it'll be interesting too to see whether or not I can stick to the commitment to myself. If we're not pulling through on another week.
Willpower doesn't work.
Well, I've never missed a running or lifting workout.
Yeah.
Is that willpower or habit?
Willpower doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you don't necessarily need the accountability aspect of it. You just need to, it helps definitely to boost, to get things started for sure. But the problem is, like, if it were easy to manage the accountability aspect of it, I'd be all over it. But like I said, if we had a tool or something.
Doesn't Kanban have a team tool?
Have a what?
A team tool? Kanban flow?
Yeah, but you would have to have, like,
we'd all have to be on each other's teams.
Yeah.
And there's no shared system for the accountability.
Yeah, Trello, or I don't know if any of those have shared accounts or team accounts without paying for that shit. Probably Asana has teams of 5 unpaid.
Anyway, we should probably get off of this subject.
Yeah, probably.
In fact, I got to drop off pretty soon here because I am at like 4 Pomodoro for today. Or no, 5. So I have to do 3 more before.
It's okay. I'll take
And
your money.
you don't have to. It's only $20.
Yeah.
You see, that's exactly why this is good, because you start to rejig and you start to refocus everything. What you just did was exactly why this is way more effective than when you're trying to hold yourself accountable.
Well, I only care about it because I want to hit the goal myself. So
Right, but the fact that we're part of accountability and trying to do it, it forces that on you to be like, fuck it, man, you better do it. If individual goals usually are it's much easier if you had a calendar invite if you had a meeting, then also you would run.
exactly.
But if you only had an individual goal that was in your head of doing 8 Pomodoros, you may not have the same level of urgency to say, nah, I got to get off this call soon. You might have been like, okay, well, this sounds more important.
Yep. All right. Well, let's change the subject. I think we beat this one to death.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So getting back to the Google Groups now.
Oh boy.
I might beat Josh to death too.
You need a club. All right, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
I thought we were talking about this.
This may become the Lost Entre Programmers episode.
We got a lot of shit done this week, and
one that
we
just
only
did-
talked about how we got the shit done, not what we got
Getting
done.
more stuff done.
We're all fried from doing our Pomodoros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge for sure. Sure. Hey, have you gotten your running plan yet from your coach, Chuck?
Yeah. So, he sent me a workout yesterday, but yesterday turned out to be a complete mess. So I'm starting today. Of course, today is the cross training and resting from yesterday, and which I didn't do. So,
Okay.
but yeah, today on I'm doing it. If I have to go run outside in the freezing cold at 11 at night to get it done, I'm getting it done. I mean, whatever
Nice.
it takes. So
What kind of mileage does he have?
How about
you doing
$25 for every workout that you miss?
yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So it's interval training right now. So we're talking it's run 1 minute, walk 2 minutes.
Okay,
And
yep.
I have a 17 to 18 minute per mile pace that I'm supposed to try and hit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What's the goal? Like, when are you supposed to hit marathon ready?
So the marathon is on October 5th.
Oh, okay. You've got it scheduled already.
Yeah, I need to register for it, but registration hasn't opened yet.
Okay.
So I'm smart, and I went and looked at the registration, and I saw that the registration ended in August, and so I was telling my coach, I was like, well, it looks like you have to register way in advance. And she went and looked, and she said, no, that was for the last marathon. The one that was this October. She's like, so it looks like it opens in April, so you should be able, if you're paying attention, to register right when it opens and get in. And so yeah.
Cool.
But this marathon, anyway, John kind of planted the bug in me, and I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, I've kind of always wanted to run a marathon. And then this is the marathon that my dad ran when I was a kid.
Mm.
And we lost him this year, so it kind of feels appropriate, I guess. So yeah,
Cool. Well, it'll be awesome.
That's the plan.
You should keep a blog or something, or some kind of thing of your training of going to.
You could start a podcast.
You
That
could.
podcast would be a freaking marathon.
And have someone manage it.
Yeah.
Hire a company outside to manage it.
I've got one you can take over. You want to take over the rights to Get Up and Code?
Get Up and Code.
Yeah,
What is
that
that?
was my old podcast, Get Up and Code. Remember?
I vaguely remember.
It was fitness. Yeah, it was fitness
Yeah.
for programmers.
Oh, you should talk to the guys
Remember.
over at DevLifts. They're doing that now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I was the original.
For programmers.
Yeah, I was the original Fitness for Programmers guy. Me and Iris Classon were the where she went batshit crazy. But I don't know if that before or if that was just a permanent state, but I say it in love though. I say it in love. All right.
But yeah, so I'm excited to get that going. I ordered a Garmin watch.
Nice. 235.
Yeah, the 235.
Yeah. Shit, I'm just selling one on eBay right now.
Oh, you should have let me know. I would have bought it. I totally would have. I have the Fitbit Blaze.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do GPS, and apparently the 235 also does the intervals.
Yeah, exactly. You can program intervals on it. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I'm planning on doing, is just using that. The only downside to that is I've been interacting with people who listen to the podcast on the Fitbit stuff, so doing Fitbit challenges. So I'm trying to figure out how to keep my Fitbit on me too, even though it's kind of built as a watch. So
You can tell them to step up their game and come over to Garmin.
You might be able to sync over, Chuck, from Garmin.
I looked online and there's not a straightforward way to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's that.
Fitbit's a pain. They won't integrate with Apple Health either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garmin, they integrate with like all kinds of apps that I can get.
Yeah, it doesn't like it won't update weight though from Apple Health. I don't know why. It's like a big pain in the ass, but
My video just went live on Evan Carmichael's channel.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's a big score.
That'll probably get me probably 2,000 subscribers
Nice.
if the video does as it's supposed to do.
So that was a collab then?
Yeah.
And it's just one of your regular content videos?
Oh, here it is.
basically?
I see it.
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich summary by
Yep.
2,000 books. Wow, man, that's pretty damn awesome that you're able to pull that shit off.
Yeah, and this one is like pretty freaking, yeah, that's my usual, isn't like my usual animation video.
Oh, look at this. Someone said upload more book summaries, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Great video. Wow, you're getting a lot of good comments on it.
yeah.
Awesome. Dude, you should, if this does well for him, you should pitch this as a weekly thing or a monthly thing, and you just provide him the book summary content every month or every week.
Yeah,
Insane.
so I'm just gonna ask him, hey, which book do you want me to do next, and keep that
Yeah.
pipeline going for him, because people get kind of scared of like any kind of commitment, as we just found out in the call today.
Yeah.
Burn. Burn.
Just kidding, man. But it's tough, because
I hope you're lifting today, by the way. You just said that.
Hey, we're getting there. Yes,
I
will be there.
don't know what happened to you on Wednesday. I mean, I was on the fucking treadmill running 6 miles, and then doing sprints, and then doing leg day for an hour and a
I
half.
did my leg day yesterday.
Okay.
I did my leg day yesterday.
Well, hello, Believe Nation. In this
So I did my leg day yesterday. I have
Okay.
the proof as well. But yeah, well, I will be there tomorrow. I mean tonight, not tomorrow.
Okay.
Shit, not
Because
tomorrow.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. I fasted all day yesterday too. Oh yeah, that was the other shit with the whole Pomodoro thing. Is Tuesday and Thursday I ate nothing. I've only eaten 2 meals this week, Monday and Wednesday. So
Damn.
my coach thinks I'm insane. He was like, "Oh, you ate before you did the 9 800-meter intervals, right?" and I was like, "No, no fasting. It's like, really? He's like, oh, well, get yourself some food now. I was like, no, I'm going to kickboxing now. I'll eat tomorrow. He's like, what the fuck?
Oh, nice. All right.
He's the one who told me that I should lose some weight. So, I don't know how I'm going to do it if I'm not fasting. So,
I was trying to figure out how to tell you, John, that you were looking a little bit, you know, but
Emaciated.
Hey, Josh, I'm getting consistent scale readings now of like in the eights, like
Nice.
8
Nice.
point something %. So.
Yeah. What's your weight now?
This morning I weighed in at 211.3, but yesterday I weighed in at 220. So that's what happens when you fast. And then here you go. Monday I weighed in at 218. Tuesday 225. Wednesday 213. Thursday 220. This morning 211.
Something is wrong with the scale, man. I mean, you're swinging at 20 pounds.
The scale is perfectly fine. It's fasting or not.
Do you also have like one of those physical scales without the digital meter just to see?
I checked it in the gym for sure.
Yeah.
It's absolutely 100% accurate. Yeah.
When John only eats 2 meals a week, but he eats a young pig.
Yeah, I've only eaten 2 meals. Remember, I've only eaten this week on Monday and Wednesday. That was it.
20 pounds of food in that one meal.
Well, a lot of it is water, right? And the glycogen that you lose, right, when you work out hard. So, yeah.
I mean, shit. Can you even drink 10 pounds of water? No, I'm just like wondering out loud here. Like that's just too much. It would make me go pee all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, I basically have to consume like 10 pounds of food. Well, a lot of it is roughage too, so that adds to, so anyway, should we do our thoughts? Because I got to get some Pomodoros done, otherwise I'm going to pay you guys money.
Just for $25, you're that worried.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just got 200 subscribers since the video went live.
Holy shit.
Nice. So for my thought, I'm just going to jump in here and basically go with implementation is the key. It's what matters more than anything else. I mean, just getting in there and executing this week. I mean, I executed in a major way, and I have all these plans, and it's not until I made it a priority to actually execute that it really, stepped things forward and got me closer to where I want to go. So figure out how to execute. And if you want to get more done, you got to execute more. Seems so obvious now that I say it.
Okay, my thought for the week is accountability matters. That's why we stay true to our commitments. Sometimes when willpower and all the other external influences fail, accountability really forces us to be real with ourselves. So
see, now I'm going to stick to it for a month, and then my thought's going to be ego matters.
Well, we'll
just to prove you wrong, right?
We will test it if you can do it by 12 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
So this week, so I've been trying to get my kids like to eat. But when my kids eat dinner, it tends to become an hour to an hour and a half long process with them running around the house and hitting each other with swords and coming back. And so I've started setting a timer at dinner now.
Pomodoro.
Basically, yesterday I did 20 minutes. I did 20 minutes.
Please.
And it was remarkable that for my middle son especially is the one who struggles with this. He's just super distractible. But it was remarkable. Like 5 minutes to go, he had an entire taco sitting in front of him. And in that last 5 minutes, that entire taco disappeared. So he had 20 minutes to eat it, barely even started until the last 5 minutes. And that, my wife was like, that was amazing. And I was like, that you just witnessed every single email promotion I've ever done in my entire life. Is like that last 5 minutes is when everything happens. So yeah, deadlines. And I think that, Manny, that deadlines are a big part of why accountability works too.
Yeah.
They work together.
Yep. External deadlines.
Well, any kind of deadline that forces some sort of a punishment is accountability for that matter.
Yep.
Without punishment, there is no accountability. There is no deadline. The deadline is useless, right? So the reason why in marketing deadlines work or any kind of urgency work is because there's a punishment at the end of it. So when you are trying to hold yourself accountable, there is no punishment. It doesn't work.
I would say, let's see, mine would be check your optimism, right? Like optimism is great, but as far as productivity and time, like when I actually put on my calendar the actual timing, I realized that, yes, this means you have to wake up at 4:30 a.m. Otherwise, right? That was the optimistic says, oh yeah, of course I can get 8 Pomodoros done before noon. That's only like 4 hours. And, there's, how many hours before noon, right? Like get up at 6 a.m. That's, that's 6 hours. Of course I can get 4 hours worth of work done in 6 hours. But when you look at it and you're like, oh, wait a minute, you've got a meeting or you've got this, right? And you've got a little bit of buffer time that you need to put in there just in case, right? Then you realize that it's not quite that. So checking optimism is quite valuable. And just the idea of like, I think along with that is the same idea of like scaling things down to achievable numbers, right? Like it's better to be consistent and hit goals. It's the same thing like that, with the habit establishing formula, right? It's like better to just do 5 push-ups every day, right? Rather than, or 3 minutes of meditation or whatever it is to develop the habit than to set it to be a bar that you're not going to reach because then you won't actually develop the habit of doing it. So, all right, guys.
All right.
An ode to productivity.
All right. I'll see you guys.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.